Hey, what's up? I'm Hart. I just completed the uh, a Realms Reborn. Is that what it's called? Section of Final Fantasy. I skipped basically all the cutscenes and most of the text, if not all of the text. And I thought it would be fun to sort of recap what I think the story was before I go back and review the actual lore. First off, this is going to be spoilers heavy. I don't really care about spoilers, but if you do, I guess don't watch. And then also, a lot of you probably care that I skip the story. I have a specific goal, and it does not involve spending time going through this story step by step. So here's what I think the story is of A Realm Reborn. My character, just like everybody on the screen apparently, is a thing called a hero of light or something. And I guess I was born in this place, but didn't know I was this hero. And I have this crystal. And then I start trying to get a job. I don't know. For me specifically, it was gladiator, but it could be anything, right? Whatever the job is that you start with. And somebody, after doing like odd jobs and trying to make money, I guess, I killed one of the primals because there was like an outbreak of primalness. And then I took its crystal and mentioned to somebody else that I had another crystal, and everyone was like, "Oh snap, you must be a hero of light." The heroes of light are famous because nobody can remember who they are, but everybody knows they existed, and they fought off some giant dragon or something in the past, and that dragon is now dead, wrapped around an airship, but that comes up later. So then, with my, I guess, crystals, I just started meeting like political figures because everyone was like, "Oh snap, we knew the heroes of light, you must be a hero of light. I can't remember them, but I can remember you because you're right in front of me." So I guess that's how I got famous. That's how I started doing jobs and work and stuff and started leveling up. People kept asking me to do more and more. And then I got introduced to like an underground sand vipers or something, which is like a fourth political power who's like trying to help out the citizenry without a political motive, I guess, or something like that. So you got the tree serpent group, you got the sand Lalafell group, and you got the, I guess they're Vieira, Ocean, whatever Merylwib is group. And then you have this fourth group that I started working with simply because I guess I didn't want to align to a political faction, even though later I align with this political faction, one of them, so that I can do work for them. Seems weird. And then they were like, "Hey, the beast folk are like going crazy, and they're summoning all their primals, and we need you to put them down because you're a crystal holder." So I start putting down primals, right, and stealing their crystals. But then the beast folk can still summon them, so I'm not sure what my crystals are exactly because they're not the like essence of the primal. It's not like I'm holding a freet, right? They could still summon a freet, which they do over and over again apparently. But I also start getting jobs to like just go murder a bunch of beastkin people, and the job is like kill all sorts of beastkins. And then later I start working with those same beastkin tribes, like the ones that want to work with us versus the ones that don't. So like I guess I'm partially genociding the groups that we hate for some reason, or that they hate. I'm not really sure why. Let's see what else happens in there. I join up with the Grand Company. I also joined a free company, but that's unrelated to the actual story. They did, however, get me into a place that like is housing that I couldn't have gone in the main story. Not important. So then, let's see. Oh, after I'm killing primals for a while, there's like a military force that uses Magitech engines, I guess. It seems very Final Fantasy 15 through most of the story. So if you've played that, I guess you've played this too. Basically, a new empire or something is invading, and they use Magitech. I don't know if they're from another plane or another world or another country. I'm not super sure on that. But basically, anybody who covers their face and anybody who has the name of an ancient tyrant, like Nero specifically, is a bad guy. So I invade their places a couple times, interrupt their operations, and then I killed a bunch of them. Or they were trying to invade, so we fought back, I guess. But all the countries were involved there, including my political fourth faction that isn't political, I guess, until after the military battle thing that we engage in. So I guess I killed Nero, and I killed whoever Nero's boss was. I don't know. There were some cutscenes that you couldn't skip there. Everyone knows what I'm talking about if you played. And I became a paladin instead of a gladiator. Raubon said some stuff at like a party. So yeah, okay, we take out the Magitech people, right? And that's the end of like the beginning of A Realm Reborn. And then after that, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not super sure what I've been doing for the second half of all of this. There's an outbreak of the primals again, which apparently I didn't actually have to do. It was hard to tell what was tied to the story and what wasn't. There's a crystal tower that I had to go to, but before I could do any of that stuff, oh, I guess I did have to do primals there. And so there's a bunch of stuff in the middle where like our group becomes a fourth political power, like I keep saying. They're in blue, so that you could tell them apart. Why did they move to the snow and off of the beach? I don't really know. Some of them stayed there. In fact, Ishtola is in both places multiple times for some reason. They could have all come to the snow place, but anyway, we got bigger digs. They made me do a bunch of like recruiting and stuff. I don't know why I had to do it specifically myself, because I'm this like famous hero of light, but also I have to do like the handing out of uniforms and like talking to people directly and all that stuff. Seems weird, but I did that. And then let's see, anything else? Oh, through most of it, there's this bro named Alphanod, and he has a sister. She's gone through most of it, so I just figured, what the heck, it's gonna rain at the beach. I figured that she was like gonna turn out to be the one of the bad guys, and that they had split and she was secretly working for the enemy. Turns out that's not true. I did happen to see a very short scene where I thought it was Alphanod, but it was her, and she was like, hey, I've been gone for a while and I'm back. And I was like, all right, well, great, good story. The person, Tataru, I guess, was doing some evil junk on the side, being like a pirate or something. I did pick that up. Minfilia is adopted. Why do I need to know that? I don't really know. She has a mom. Meow. Or I guess a adopted mom? It doesn't matter. Mom is mom. Yeah, so then I went to the Crystal Tower here at the end, and you know, I fought a dragon and I fought some stuff in there, and the best I can guess is that maybe the Crystal Tower was like cloning enemies or something. It seemed like we had to protect the world from the Crystal Tower, so I assume there was stuff coming out of the Crystal Tower, and we had to stop that incursion, and maybe those enemies were like cloned. I thought it might be like an overflow of materia or mana or whatever the, you know, stuff is called, but that wasn't it apparently. I just did see one of the enemies was called clone of something or something clone, so my guess is maybe it was cloning things and making them more powerful, and I'm sure somebody was engineering that, but I don't know who. And then at the very end, if you have played through all of this, you know better than I, one of the leaders of the four now political factions was murdered. The game told me that I needed to set aside time to watch these scenes. I said okay, and then immediately skipped it. So I don't know exactly what happened, but I did catch that the Sultana was killed, and I guess we had to flee, and so we left. And then for some reason, there was a scene where I was like, I guess that was right before this. I was just waiting at the side of a train track for some reason. Nothing ever happened, so I left. But anyway, the Sultana's killed. We had to leave. Sid's been here the whole time. He had a memory loss thing, but he's slowly getting it back, or maybe he's got it back, or maybe he never gets it back, but he knows how to do, like, engineering junk, so we flew away. That was a big sort of whole arc where we get Sid a flying thing, but, I mean... It didn't seem to matter. You know, we can fly or we don't fly. It doesn't seem to matter. I can fly on a chocobo now. I got a chocobo. And yeah, so now I'm headed north, apparently, across this bridge that I keep trying to go across, but no one will let me across, but now I can go for some reason. So I'm gonna go across there, and then apparently I'll be playing through Heaven's Ward next. I'm not sure if it's Heaven's Ward or Heaven's Sword, or that's all I can think of. But if you think that's interesting and you want to know what I think happened during it, I guess I could record another video of that lore too if you want. But this has been the very beginning, a Realm Reborn skipped, and what my guess was at it. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful whatever. I'll see you later. Deuces.